Chase DeLauder has dazzled in his first 2 regular season games. Tonight, he aims for a trifecta no Guardian has ever achieved before. Seattle has socked their way to a series split. But tonight, Joey Cantillo commands the Guardians' battleship as they look to sink the Mariners and get a leg up in part 3 of this season-opening 4-game series. And we are just about ready for baseball as Bryan Woo finishes his warm-up pitches for the Seattle Mariners, and that gives us time to check out the Guardians' starting lineup tonight, presented by Progressive. In will be Stephen Kwan leading it off. He's in center field tonight. Chase DeLauder will DH and bat second, and Jose Ramirez hitting third. Kyle Manzardo bats cleanup. David Fry makes his first start behind the plate, hitting fifth. Daniel Schneemann is at second base, batting sixth. Angel Martinez in left, CJ Kayfus in right, and Brian Rocchio moves over to shortstop. He'll bat ninth.
And 26-year-old Bryan Woo will be making the start. This guy has had a terrific year. He was an all-star for the first time last year in the American League, and he's only pitched 1 game against the Guardians, and it was a loss. He went 4 innings, gave up 4 hits, 3 runs, and also 1 home run. Let's check out the defense behind him.
Woo, ready to rock into the windup and get us underway. And Stephen Kwan takes a fastball for a strike.
You are going to see a lot of fastballs from this guy. 72% of his pitches are fastballs between the 2-seamer and the 4-seamer. He doesn't mess around.
Official game time temperature 53 degrees. Partly cloudy skies as Kwan checks his swing. And it's a strike 0-2. Rick Wood for the hitter. In particular, a left-handed hitter, because the Guardians will have 8 of them in the lineup tonight against Woo. What does that 2-seam fastball look like compared to his 4-seamer?
Well, it's going to obviously have some runaway going to him. You got to pick one side of the plate and get after it. You know, split that plate in half, because he'll elevate it. And they elevated a lot of high fastballs to this lineup last night and had success. This guy began the season, he had 25 consecutive starts of 6 or more innings and 2 or fewer walks. And I mean, he has excellent control.
0-2, a liner to short, and it drops right into the glove of Leo Rivas for out number 1. Keys to the game brought to you by Toyota. Home run chase, Chase DeLauder. No Guardian has ever homered in each of their first 3 regular season games. He aims to do that here tonight. And the Mariners, though Cal Raleigh is without a hit so far, they have been driving the ball out of the ballpark. They lead the majors already 2 games into the season in home runs with 6. DeLauder takes up high, ball 1.
Yeah.
Elevated fastballs.
Elevated fastballs you'll see a lot of. And they may be showing him some. I mean, he hit a couple of breaking balls out of the ballpark. So it's going to be interesting. If he sees that 4-seamer, I'm thinking it may be in and in off the plate as well.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Archie is well aware that he's going to see fastballs up and in. It goes off the conversation you and I had at dinner last night. He says, this is what happens every time I have success early.
Pumped by him there, 1-2.
You know, usually, I mean, the season just started, for goodness sakes, but he's up to such a good start. You have to make an adjustment quickly. Usually they don't mind if you take a fastball and take a single the other way. They don't want you hitting it over the fence.
As you said in the open, he's the talk of baseball, so he knows they're coming at him differently already.
Foul back out of play. Nothing but fastballs from Woo to DeLauder.
Arch, do you think it's surprising that a young hitter comes up for pitchers to see him adjust on sliders and off speed the way he has early on?
Well, not yet. It's just too early. Everybody's going to go out there and they're going to stick with their game plan. There it is.
Elevated fastball. 2 down.
He had the one to hit before that, and he fouled it off. But this one was inside a little bit more, and he couldn't extend the arms. You see how he had to try and pull him in to get the hands through the hitting area. And that makes it a little tardy.
So at 2 down, here is Jose Ramirez. 1 for 9 so far in the first 2 ball games. Couple of runs batted in. Pops one into foul ground, racing over Brendan Donovan, the third baseman. He goes to his knees, makes the catch, slammed into the sidewall. They'll check him. He appears to be okay, but boy, that looked awkward.
Yeah.
For the moment, he's all right. And the Guardians go 1-2-3.
Caught that left knee on the wall. And Joey Cantillo will be making the start for the Guardians tonight. They split up the left-hander, so he will get game number 3. And he started out of the bullpen last year, ended up getting the chance to go down at the end of May to stretch him out, and where he got called up later on and did a nice job at 13 starts, a 2.96 ERA. Great changeup. He's got established the fastball, and he's got a couple other nice breaking pitches he can use.
Take a look at Seattle's starting lineup for manager Dan Wilson. It'll be Rob Refsnyder leading it off. He's the DH tonight. Then Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, and Josh Naylor. Randy Rosarina, Brendan Donovan, Victor Robles, Leo Rivas, and Cole Young batting ninth. So the Mariners will still have 3 left-handed bats in there against Joey Cantillo. He's a guy that has reverse splits.
Right.
And his first pitch is a fastball called low, ball 1. David Fry behind the plate tonight for the Guardians. Great to see him back in the starting lineup, and as a position player, he was only able to DH when he came back last year. He's worked extremely hard. Even last year, while all he could do on the field was DH, he was catching bullpens routinely just to sharpen his catching skills. You know, a lot of times, Rick, if a team carries 3 catchers, that third catcher is kind of a maybe
borderline,
here and there kind of catcher.
Right.
They feel David Fry is as good a catcher as the other 2 right now.
And he stayed in all the pitchers' meetings and met with everything all year long, even though he wasn't going to catch with them. So he's a big part of that when they have their meetings.
Fastball strike to Rob Refsnyder. Refsnyder, 8 years ago, he went to spring training with the Guardians, but there was no room at the end. They had no roster spot for him, so they turned him loose at the end of spring training. Last year, you see with the Red Sox, a very solid year.
Well, he's a left-handed killer. He loves to go in there and play against left-handers.
Lazy fly ball right field. C.J. Kafis hauls it in, 1 down. Hyundai in the driver's seat. Guardians pitching so far has done a really nice job against Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez. Raleigh has struck out 7 times in his last 7 plate appearances.
Yeah, they've handled the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in this lineup very, very well. It's just the
Ohio boys have hurt him,
yeah,
and they're both out of the lineup tonight, thankfully.
That's a good thing.
Both Dominic Canzone and Luke Raley, who hail from Northeast Ohio, they've been carrying the Seattle lineup. Oh, 1 fouled back out of play. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. 3 times with the fastball.
Yeah, look at how many times they got him to swing twice in a row up top, way out of the strike zone. Off the plate, he's being way too aggressive.
Rock fouled on the left side. Is there anything to that? You want to get that first hit so badly that maybe you start
Could be, yes.
pressing a little early?
Yeah, look, I mean, the guy's 60 home runs. I expect to see one every day. And, and that was last year, and it was a tremendous year. But he's going out, and I'm sure he's trying a little too hard to do something. Elevate it. See if he continues to swing. Got him on the outside
That was
corner.
a really nice curveball from Joey Cantillo.
8 consecutive strikeouts. How about that? A nice curveball. Now, this is a pitch that, it's an excellent curveball that he has. His favorite pitch is that changeup that he can throw. There's that backdoor curveball. Beautiful. Fry caught it right on the outside edge on the knees.
Ryan Additon calling the balls and strikes tonight. Julio Rodriguez digs in. Rodriguez 0 for 7 with 5 strikeouts. But a slow start has been the norm for Julio Rodriguez. He heats up after the All-Star break. But, you know, when you look at his starts over the years, it's not like he's a non-factor early on. He's just not Julio Rodriguez.
Right. Well, they don't have a single yet. All their hits are extra base hits. They have 9 hits, 6 home runs, a couple of doubles, triple. But they've hit some home runs, and that's been the difference.
Well, one of those doubles was legit. The other double was a ball in the left field that Angel Martinez had go between his legs. That should have been a single.
It should have been. I agree.
The triple was a ball that Chase DeLauder had in his glove, and it just flipped out.
Right.
And it ended up going for a triple.
Right.
Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Joey Cantillo mows him down in the opening frame. Back-to-back strikeouts for the Southpaw. No score after 1. Bet365 betting odds tonight. Kyle Manzardo leading it off for the Guardians here in inning number 2. No score. Manzo looking to get on the board. He's 1 for 8 so far in the series with a single. Mentioned this on Thursday night from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. So this is about as close to home as he gets during the baseball season. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Good fastball. And Bryan Woo riding that 4-seamer, mixing in an occasional 2-seamer here in the early going.
Yeah, he's coming right at him. He's just moving it in and out, but he's staying up in the zone.
Manzardo awaits the 0-2. Fouled back. Kyle Manzardo played collegiately at Washington State University. When he was there, that man, Pat Chun, was the athletic director for the Cougars. Pat is now in his second year as the AD here at the University of Washington, right down the road here in Seattle. So he's out here rooting on his buddy Manzo. Now the 0-2. He told us that when Kyle came to Washington State, the coaches there said he will be the best hitter we've had since John Olerud. And Pat said, oh, no, don't put that kind of pressure on the kid. And he said, lo and behold, by the time it was all said and done, you looked at his stats, he was the best hitter they had since John Olerud.
That's unbelievable because Olerud was a heck of a player,
Yeah.
man. He came on, I don't even know if he played a minor league game. He came right to the big leagues.
Yeah, so Pat got a front row seat to some of Kyle Manzardo's heroics at Washington State.
Those are the tickets that you got him today.
Yeah, I've got that kind of pull.
Yeah.
Now the 1-2. Swung on and missed. He foul tipped it right into the mitt of Cal Raleigh. Second strikeout for Woo. 1 down here in the second inning.
Comes right back, and there you go. There it is, a challenge at 97, and that's what it is. He throws that fastball, and he's gonna see if you can hit it. Nice approach, and see if you can take him the other way.
Loop to right. Going back is Josh Naylor. He won't get it.
It's a
And
beautiful
David
thing.
Fry has himself a soft serve single to right
Atta
field.
boy. He got jammed with that ball. He ran it in on him. But no. He says it's done, but it's a hit. He's
right.
going to take it. You do what you have to do. So he's going to run that in on his hands a little bit, but he placed it beautifully. Placement is everything. Gets it over Naylor's head. It falls, and he's happy. Yeah, down. Thumbs up or down. First knock of the game.
Daniel Schneemann. And he rips through a fastball. Boy, that fastball obviously is sneaky. It's got some ride to it.
Yeah. That's when he's throwing it up there. It just keeps it playing, you know. And as a hitter, you may think it's going up or rising, but he can get it by you.
Socked to deep right center field. Rodriguez chasing back, and it's going to be caught by Robles. Boy, I thought he really got into that more than what it ended up being. Robles and Rodriguez converge. Oh,
he knew he didn't get it. He had a pitch to hit, and he just didn't get it.
Matty, you weren't the only one fooled on that one. This bench all exploded.
Yeah, you know what, though? Did you see where Rodriguez was playing him? Rodriguez was playing him in left center field.
Right.
So, you know, they think he's going to take it the other way. So he must have got jammed just a little bit on that ball with a good swing.
If you remember, though, on opening day, he had a double to left center.
Right.
So that's probably planning, though.
Angel Martinez 0 for 2 so far in the first couple of games this year. David Fry at first base with 2 down.
Now, if you're Martinez and you're coming from this side of the plate, you want him to get the ball down to you, you know, because he's a good low ball hitter. If he gets up there around the belt or above here, he's going to just try and force him to get him down.
Yeah, Schneemann had one of the best pitches to hit for a Guardians hitter in that it was a little, down in that zone where you like to get after it. Sometimes it's difficult to lay out that high fastball to the borderline.
You see it a little bit better, but that'd be a good ball to shoot the other way. You try and get the head to it, and he got that call.
He rings him up to retire the side. Third strikeout for Bryan Woo. Guardians get their first hit, but we are scoreless midway through the second. Opening week is presented by Vanguard. Discipline that delivers. What a beautiful setting here in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle, Washington, home of T-Mobile Park. And the Mariners come to bat home half of the second with Josh Naylor leading it off. And Joey Cantillo drops a breaking ball in for strike one. Cantillo back-to-back strikeouts to end the first inning. And it's a ball and a strike now to Naylor. Swing and a miss. And it's 1-2. That's the slider that he got ahead of him with.
Taking his time out, as he usually does when he's down the count.
Josh is so good at controlling the strike zone for a guy that hits with the kind of power that he has. 20 homers, 92 knocked in last year, but a .295 average and a .353 on base percentage.
They've been able to handle Naylor so far. 0 for 8.
He had 50 extra base hits in all last year. And that missed low, 2-2. I guess the thing for Josh, watching him as we did in Cleveland, whether it's just the more times you see big league pitchers, the better understanding you have of yourself as a hitter, how they're going to attack you. He seems to recognize pitches very quickly. And I think that's why he is able to walk at the rate he does and lay off pitches, because Rick, he can maybe pick up that spin a little quicker because he kind of figures when it's coming.
Yeah, he knows he's going to get a breaking ball.
He is an intelligent baseball player, is what we learned, is what you're saying, Matt. You look at the 30 stolen bases last year. It wasn't because of his physical talent.
How many times you said that? Ground ball. Schneemann has it. He smothers it and throws him out. One down. Well, I'll tell you what, we got some good news today, I think. The injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Tanner Bybee left opening day with shoulder inflammation. And today he went into the bullpen and made 26 pitches without incident. Now, manager Stephen Vogt said, hey, we're going to check him tomorrow, see how he feels tomorrow. This is still day-to-day. We're hopeful that he can make his next start in L.A. against the Dodgers. Dre, you caught up with him. How does he feel?
He says he feels great. He says he got out at the right time. He doesn't feel great. He still feels a little bit, but all pitchers do. He said he got out at the wrong time, was able to do some weighted ball work yesterday, and as you saw right there in the video that we had, he was throwing pretty much full go on those 26 pitches. So as of now, he will face Ohtani on Tuesday in L.A., but they do have a contingency plan they're working on just in case.
Oh, yeah.
He plans on being there Tuesday against Ohtani.
Yeah, you wouldn't think they'd let him go throw if they had
Right.
any question marks on him.
And, I thought Stephen Vogt made a great point. He goes, when you've been out in Arizona pitching in 100 degrees, because we're telling him to be careful there, then you come out here and it's 50 to 45 degrees. Because that feels different on your shoulder and your elbow, and you should be careful this time of the year.
2-1 the count on Randy Arozarena. That's a strike, and it's 2-2. I think we're all, those of us who watch the game, we're not down there in uniform. We all want them to challenge a lot more than we're seeing pitches get challenged.
That's so true.
Anything that's close,
well, if you're walking around watching our crew, we're all like
tapping
monkeys. We're tapping the top of our heads. Everybody's saying, challenge that.
Everywhere I was walking the streets the other day and tapped my head when a guy walked in front of me.
You have to be somewhat judicious, though.
Right.
You only have 2 for the whole game.
Well, that's right. Every hitter should challenge. I felt in the first inning Martinez should have challenged his.
No challenge necessary for
go.
the Guardians, but Arozarena will challenge.
Okay, he took 2 steps before he hit that helmet, but he challenged it.
He did challenge it. Let's see.
ABS brought to you by T-Mobile, and it is just, look at that. You can barely slide a credit card between the ball and the strike zone. But it is ball 4, and so the Mariners will retain their challenges.
It was a good pitch, and that's a tough one to lay off, but I'll tell you what, he does, and that, look at it. It is just a,
wow.
Just
it looked like
a
it went
threat.
around the plate almost.
It probably did. Wrap around it.
1 on, 1 out for Brendan Donovan. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Boy, he had him out in front on the slider. Donovan 2 for 6. Homered on opening day. Probably we'll see him in that leadoff spot when they have a right-hander on the hill. But with a lefty, he's got him batting 6th.
That's why they have Ref Snyder. He's going to be their left-handed guy. He's oh so good against lefties.
Double play ball. Schneemann to second for 1. Back to first. Not in time. Donovan just barely beats it out. And the Guardians will take a look. It did look on the naked eye as though he did beat it out.
Yeah, I thought he hit the bag first, just from the naked eye.
No challenge.
You're going to watch him hustling down the line. They tried to get it over there. And there's a foot going down right before that ball gets into the glove. And, of course, if you're a defender, I saw Rocchio. He's saying, hey, check that out. Go look at it. And it was that close. They made it close. He just didn't hit the ball hard enough for him to really turn it.
The advantage for the left-handed hitter sometimes.
Yeah,
right?
That's an extra step to first base. Absolutely right.
Victor Robles. Last year in 32 games. You see his offensive contributions.
And he's more of a defensive specialist for these guys. He can play, any position, any part of center field or left.
Arch, you say that, but he hit really well last year before he got hurt. and they were thinking they gave him a contract, and they thought he was going to be their right fielder, but then, Canzone and those guys came back, and he never was the same after the injury last year.
Big swing at that changeup.
So he's going to have to earn some time back now, especially because those guys
the way those guys are hitting.
Right.
Yes, indeed.
The Ohio connection's doing a job so far for them.
They have been against us when we see them.
Close, but just a bit outside. And the count goes full. The string is out. The runner at first, Brendan Donovan, will be on the move on this next pitch. Ripped to left. Racing over Martinez. Donovan into third. They're going to wave him home. Relay throw to the plate. Not in time. Mariners strike first on a 2-out RBI double by Robles.
And with 2 outs, that's why they certainly were going to try and send that base runner. He was off and running, and by the time that Martinez could get over there, he makes the backhand and gets it in, but Rocchio's throw was way offline. Didn't really have a chance. I don't know if he would have been able to throw him out anyway. But does a nice job getting that ball down the line. And here comes the third base coach. Look at him taking everything in. Looking at the play. I got to send you there. And he got to the bag right when they were throwing that ball in. So it was a good job of being aggressive, and the throws were offline.
Leo Rivas. In the air to center field, and Stephen Kwan circles under it, makes the catch. And the inning is over, but after 2, it's Seattle 1, Cleveland nothing.
There's still time to become a Guardians 10th teammate for the 26th season. Season ticket memberships start with just 20 games and feature the best seats at the lowest prices. Members also get access to exclusive events and pre-sales, flexible exchange policies, and more. CLEGuardians.com/season tickets.
C.J. Kayfus leads off here in the third for Cleveland. Mariners lead it 1-0. Kayfus getting the start tonight in right field.
Yeah, he's one that'll bounce from left to right. Stephen Vogt will play him in both.
High fly ball to center. A word now from Levin Furniture and Mattress.
Sink into unbeatable comfort with La-Z-Boy recliners, starting at just $395. Nobody sells La-Z-Boy for less than Levin.
You mentioned earlier that last year Bryan Woo had an incredible run in which he started the season with 25 consecutive starts of at least 6 innings,
Right.
and 2 or fewer walks. In the month of May, he made 6 starts and walked 2 batters.
This guy's incredible. You know, he's among the best since 24. When you look at him, one of 4 pitchers. They have a sub-3 ERA, a sub-1 WHIP, and that joins Jack Wheeler,
yeah, look at the names
Skubal,
on that list.
and Skeens. So, I mean, he's right up there. He commands it. He does it beautifully.
I think because he pitches out here, Arch, the rest of the country doesn't know how good he has been so far.
Agreed. See, they're slow playing him now this year, where they can move him back,
right,
and take care of him for the full year, because towards the end of the year they backed him off and he ended up
he
coming
was hurt
out
during the playoffs.
In the
last year,
playoffs,
right?
He came out of the bullpen. But there's the lowest whip since 24. Look at him, just behind Skubal, .92. Then you got Gilbert right there, his teammate. There's some good pitchers on this staff. They've got some good starters.
I heard some from the Seattle side that said there are people here that thought he should have been the opening day starter, but it's Gilbert's job because he's been here longer.
Well, he's been here longer, and they want to protect him
and
make him last all year long.
His 25 consecutive starts of going at least 6 innings last year, no other Mariner has ever done that. Not Randy Johnson, Felix Hernandez, Chris Bosio, Freddie Garcia, Big Maple, none of them.
Yeah, think about it. Those are some really nice names there.
And he makes quick work of Cleveland in the third. 1-0 Seattle. Opening week is brought to you by Vanguard, discipline that delivers. By Levin Furniture and Mattress, your mattress headquarters. And by your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com for movement that inspires. Has some cloud cover, but all in all, it has been a beautiful opening week here in Seattle.
We've been here for about a week.
It feels like it, huh? Those 100-degree days in Arizona seem like a far distant memory. Ninth place hitter Cole Young, the backbreaker last night. A 2-out, 2-strike, 3-run homer off Gavin Williams.
0-2 was the count. Yes, it hurt. But Dan Wilson left him in there tonight going against the left-hander.
Big rip, 2-2. Cole Young in his major league debut last year ended up the hero. He hit a chopper over the first baseman. Played to the walk-off run in the 11th inning. Got him looking. Strikeout number 3 for Joey Cantillo, and that opens the home half of the third and turns the lineup over for Seattle.
This looked like a nice low dart right there. Kept its space. And I'll tell you, I mean, there's some close ones, but Seattle, we've seen them that they made one challenge and they lost it, I think, so far. That's the only one they made.
Well, a Rosarina challenge and got his
okay,
overturned.
and he won. Okay.
And I think Cal Raleigh challenged a pitch when he was catching. On opening day? No? Yeah, he did.
He did? Forgot already.
And that's in there for a strike. 1-1. Rob Refsnyder flying to right his first time up.
Arch, we've only done 2 games, man.
I know. We were off yesterday.
How quickly we forget. I love that Refsnyder was going to retire 2 years ago. Now he's got a big contract to come out here and DH and hit lefties.
Chopped and foul up the third base side.
Yeah, he went from one coast to the other.
Right.
He went from Boston on the East Coast to come all the way out here.
Arch, I was going to say this to you, though, in the beginning of the game when he came up. What does it tell you about where we're at with baseball and how guys are used, that he's become so good at hitting left-handed pitching that he went from a guy that could barely make a roster to there were teams that were piling up to try to get him this offseason so he could be in this role.
Well, don't you think we would have, had something to say about it? Because we were always looking for a right-handed hitter that could hit lefties.
And we let him go.
Yeah, and then he went to Boston, and that park it fit him beautifully.
He went to the Yankees too for a while and did it.
Off to the right, out of play.
Yeah, but that monster in Fenway helped him out a lot.
In the dirt to even the count of 2-2.
But you know, now he's late in his career. As you mentioned, he wanted to get out of the game. He's only DHing, so if you're hired to hit left-handers, you better be able to do it when you come over and you're just hitting.
Life is funny when you think about how many things have to go just right for all of us to make our way in the world.
Right.
For Rob Refsnyder, born in South Korea, never knew his biological parents, adopted by Jane and Clint Refsnyder. His dad was a former college basketball player. Think about all those things that had to go just right for him to get the opportunity to come to America and then made himself into a heck of a baseball player. Fouls out here, 2 down. That brings up Cal Raleigh. Has struck out in 8 consecutive plate appearances.
Well,
Jay Buhner way back in 1990 and Ryan Langerhans.
Yeah, I remember Jay Buhner. He does some games for them on television now.
Line drive and a base hit center field.
So the home run king gets their first single of the year. After 8 at-bats, strikeouts, he finally gets himself a knock right back up the middle, a high breaking ball, and it stayed middle of the plate.
After he joined Khalil Lee as the only players to strike out 8 consecutive times to open the season, he stops the streak with a single to center field. So 2 out and a base runner for Julio Rodriguez.
Well, as a hitter, you just want to make a left-hand turn, and he was able to do it there instead of taking the walk back.
Bottom fell out of that slider. 1-1.
We've seen more sliders and maybe a curveball or two than we have changeups tonight, it seems like, to this point.
The 1-1. Sails the fastball high. Julio Rodriguez, 40-40 potential. Talked about it on opening night. 32 homers, 31 doubles, 30 steals a year ago. Shattered the bat. It's split in 2.
Yeah, right off the cupped end.
There's a couple of pieces on each side of the third base foul line. They'll clean it up.
Just splits that bat, the end of it.
As you say, you don't look at a guy's numbers and say, well, if he hit 30 homers, 30 doubles, 30 steals, well, then this year he should go 40-40-40. It doesn't work that way. But certainly, I think if you look at how talented he is, there is the potential he can do that.
I totally agree. This kid is going into, what, his 5th year? And he's going to be here for a long, long time.
Runner goes, 2-2 pitch in the dirt, and Fry couldn't pick it.
It's a perfect pitch to run on 2-2. And Raleigh did have about 16, 17 steals last year, believe it or not, as a catcher.
14, yeah, 14, yeah. And he was only caught 4 times.
And the thing of it is, it's a great count because he's taken off, thinking it's going to be an off-speed pitch, especially to Rodriguez, and it was in the dirt.
I'm guessing that's where a catcher is thinking along with the catcher.
And their first base coach.
And their first base coach is really good. You talked about the other day.
Yeah. Eric Young, yeah, he does a nice job with him.
He's got some Sandy Alomar Jr. in him. He's been around the game
Right.
a long time, reads things really well.
And that's a count, that's a situation you want to run
When
on.
you're the catcher, you know.
Bingo, what I'd be calling
Yeah.
here in this situation with one of those guys hitting. So you just take off, and if you
Right.
get thrown out, then he comes back to lead off next inning anyway.
And when Josh Naylor stole all those bases last year, he talked about Eric Young and Sandy Alomar being the reason why he could do it.
Ball 4, second walk issued by Cantillo, and that brings up Josh Naylor. Fastball strike.
I'm thinking Josh was sitting there looking for a breaking ball after he saw a lot of them in that first at bat early.
That off-speed pitch yanked foul. And it's 0-2. Here's the cat and mouse game now. You get ahead of them. Do you stay on the attack or do you try to get him to expand?
I'd go at the high fastball like
like
he did.
that call.
Yeah, just
I
a
really
little
did.
bit higher.
Yep.
I think David Fry knows he'll chase that when he's down in the count looking for a breaking ball. A little bit higher, and he had him. That's right there because he'll chase even higher. We've seen him do it. And he can also get on one, too.
Josh is always ready to hit the fastball. That's something that we noticed from day one. Slowed it down and he tops it foul.
That was the curveball.
Right now, Cantillo averaging 22 pitches an inning.
I knew he was going to do that. Trying to slow everything down.
But Arch, you said when I told you years ago when he told me, he goes, I don't like being rushed in the box. He goes, as a hitter, I've never been rushed. I want to get my timing down. And he goes, I'm not letting the pitcher dictate the timing when I'm in the box.
And he's making them wait on the rubber because he has until 8 seconds.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a curveball to end the inning. Cantillo is fan 4, and the Mariners strand a pair here in the third, but they lead it 1-0.
Right now, right?
Well, the Ballpark Pass presented by Planet Fitness is back again this season. You can get a standing room ticket for all 16 home games in April, including the home opener against the Cubs on the 3rd of April. The Ballpark Pass, just $59. Visit CLEGuardians.com. Ballpark Pass.
1-0 Seattle, 4th inning. Chase DeLauder leads it off. Struck out his first time up. And Brian Wu, with that 4-seam fastball, rides it in there for strike 1. 1 hit so far for the Guardians. A bloop single to right by David Fry in the 2nd inning. It's their only base runner. A ball and a strike for DeLauder. Chase told me something interesting before the game tonight. He said that when he went to James Madison University, he went there as a pitcher only.
Wow.
He was not a two-way player initially. He went there simply as a pitcher, and then he said after my freshman year, I grew from 5'9" to about 6'1", 6'2", and he said I lost my mechanics. Swing and a miss. He goes down swinging. So the growth spurt is what ended his pitching career and spawned what we hope is going to be a terrific hitter.
Did you ask him what he was eating during that time of his growth stage?
Well, the one thing he did say, and this makes a lot of sense, he said, because as Andre pointed out earlier, everybody makes fun of his ugly swing. He said, but when I was a young hitter, when I was first starting out and I wasn't as big, my short swing is how I taught myself to make contact, just get to the ball. And he said, as I grew, I never changed my swing. So I'm still a contact hitter. It's just when I got physical and bigger, I could drive on the ball.
Goes a little further.
Well, you still get the barrel head of the bat a little bit out front. You, as big and strong as he is right now, that's all it takes.
But that was the thing. His mechanics changed as a pitcher, but he says as a hitter, as Matt just said, he goes, I didn't change anything. And you can see it. And he said, that's why I'm sticking with it being ugly.
Well, it's not so ugly.
You keep hitting it that far.
Ugly is the new beautiful. Out of play to the left for Jose Ramirez, who fouled out on the left side his first time up.
All right, you always talk about Jose being a great switch hitter, but also a great pull hitter. And that's one of the things DeLauder has learned from him is that if I'm going to hit the ball in the air, I'm going to pull it. But I'm still going to hit the ball, from gap to gap. But when I'm pulling the ball, I want to go down that line and be like Jose to get the cheap home runs.
Well, that's what he's saying. I'm trying to hit the ball on the pull side in the air. But you don't want to get caught in a trap.
The shortstop goes out, and Rivas made the grab right in front of a charging Arozarena for out number 2. Kyle Manzardo comes up with 2 down and the base is empty. When Manzardo catches it out front, it usually leaves the yard.
And look at the pull side, 22 of them. That's the big part of the ballpark when you're trying to hit it up the middle and the other way. Tough driving it. Those are you're hoping doubles. But mechanically here for Bryan Woo, look how easy and fluid he is. There's nothing. He's not overthrowing. It's a nice, slow delivery, and he challenges it. You're getting a fastball to hit in every at bat. It's just your job to pick which one you like and try and get to it.
Down the left side, out of play.
You see him. He's got the, I told you 72% is going to be the 4-seamer and then some 2-seamer, but they say he's got a slider, sweeper, and a changeup. Haven't seen much of the breaking stuff, have we? I'm trying to see if I'm sure he might have thrown a changeup or 2, but he's coming right at you. There's a breaking ball. There it was.
A pair of Ks in the 4th. He has set down 8 straight Guardians, and the Mariners hold a 1-0 lead as we have reached the midway point of the 4th inning, and we send it downstairs to Andre Knott.
Steven, just being home for the opener. This is your second game today. How cool is it you got to be at your kids' game early?
Yeah, it was awesome. I got to go watch the boys play this morning and coach them a little bit. So, nice little doubleheader.
So, talk about Joey Cantillo and what he's been able to do. What have you liked so far?
I really like he's keeping his velocity. He's holding it. He's really executing a lot. They're making him work. The pitch count's up a little bit, but I love the way he's executing all 4 pitches. The slider's been really good. Curveball, changeup as well.
People at home they're watching Woo. I know you know this, but we're seeing a lot of fastballs. Is it one of those fastballs because it stays up, hard to keep up with?
Yeah, so he's got a lower slot, so it's got some upshoot to it, some good extension, and it's really free and easy. So it's hard to really gear up for it, but we got to make an adjustment. We got to get on the fastball a little bit more.
Appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you, Andre. Thanks to manager Stephen Vogt. Joey Cantillo, 66 pitches through 3 innings of work here tonight. So maybe not as efficient as you would like, but so far just the 1 run allowed. He has walked 2 and struck out 4.
No, he's had good stuff. I like his breaking ball tonight. He's using that. Normally we see him in that favorite off-speed pitch. It's usually the changeup, but he's using all 4 pitches, and he's doing a nice job with it.
And look, the Guardians offensively, it was pretty impressive for them to come out and put up 6 runs on opening night against a pitcher of the caliber of Logan Gilbert. But we knew that the start of this season was going to be an absolute gauntlet for this club because you had the Mariners, who have one of the deepest starting rotations in baseball.
Yeah, they do.
And you got 4 right out of the gate. No off days. You go to L.A., you're going to get Yamamoto, you're going to get Sasaki, you're going to get Ohtani. I mean, they're not facing anybody's
They're coming out of the chute
weak
heavy.
link at all. Weak ground ball here. Fry pounces, and he can't make the throw in time. Maybe if he lets that go, it kicks foul, but I'm guessing he thought it was either going to stay fair or he had a shot to throw him out.
And he couldn't really make the spin to turn and throw. And Rosarina can get down the line. You see what a jump he got? I think it might have been better off to just try and let it go foul. That would have been the only chance because he didn't have a chance to throw him out. It hit the side of that grass, so it's got that spin to it. So it would have been foul. Probably should have let it go.
Leadoff man aboard for Seattle. Rosarina has their lone stolen base on the year. He draws a throw.
And that's what you do sometimes as a base runner or a base stealer. You try and get a really big lead to force that pitcher to throw to first base so your coach can get a look at it and you get a look at his move coming over there.
Yeah, we'll see if they test David Fry. Sandy Alomar telling me before the game that David Fry really worked on changing his arm slot, and his throws down to second base have been impressive.
I saw him in spring training, and he fired some seeds down there right on the money.
Center field sinking, base hit. So Brendan Donovan takes one right back up the gut, and now the Mariners have a rally started in the 4th.
Well, he's going to get a fastball here, and that one was sort of middle in and took advantage of it right back up the middle, put a good short swing on it. So they'll start this inning off with an infield single and a line drive up the middle. So first and second, nobody out. Now Cantillo's got to buckle down.
Victor
Don't know
Robles,
if they're going to try and bunt here. We'll see.
He accounted for Seattle's only run in the 2nd with an RBI double. And
that's the
delay.
umpire. No, the umpire said he called timeout. I don't know if he thought somebody did, but he patted his own chest.
And Zardo and Ramirez pinching in at the corners, and the bunt is foul.
You know, it's a wise move to try and let this guy, even though he hit the double and drive in the runs with 2 out, move the runners over and give the next guy an opportunity. And he did. He just tried to make a perfect bunt. Here you're going to see the double hit down the line, and that's after they just missed turning a double play to get out of that inning. And then by the time Martinez can get over there, they send him all the way home, and the relay to Rocchio was way offline, and they scored their run. So there was the one try. We'll see if he's going to do it again or let him swing.
Squares takes the ball in the dirt.
Because I know this is part of this guy's game is the bunt. When he was with Washington, and we've seen him in other places.
The 1-1. And he jumps out of the way again.
If you know he's going to bunt, throw him the high fastball. Don't mess around. If he's going to give it up.
Yeah, now with the count in his favor, you wonder, do they take it off?
I wouldn't.
And let him swing.
But now you're digging yourself a hole. Now he's trying to make perfect pitches. They're giving you an out, Joey. Let's go. Now they could take it off if they wanted to, thinking he's going to get a fastball and let him do it. Or you let him go ahead and square around and he can do the old butcher boy.
He is swinging and lines it to right field. It's deep. Back is Kefis. He almost misjudged it. Makes the catch on the front part of the warning track. Tagging and able to go to third as a Rosarina. So at the end of the day, Robles sort of gets the job done.
He does get the job done because he got the run at third base, but you still have the double play in order. But I'll tell you what, he got himself in trouble falling behind him 3-1, and that's a heck of a play to just come back and make it catch and get it out. That's a big play right there. Now you get the ground ball. We're going to see how they're going to play their middle infielders. They look like they're sort of half in, halfway. There's good speed at third with Arozarena.
Leo Rivas fly to center, first time up. He squares, and maybe a safety squeeze.
That could be.
The only inning they went in order was the first. He had back-to-back strikeouts. Guardians bullpen is busy. Matt Festa getting loose. Here's the 1-1. There's the safety squeeze.
He hit it twice. He hit it twice.
But they didn't see it.
He hit that ball twice.
The third base umpire saw it. The third base umpire is coming in. He saw it.
That bounced up and hit the barrel of his bat. I think if he was still in the batter's box, a foul ball.
Will Little, the third base umpire. Stephen Vogt's going out to say, hey, was he out of the box, and should that count him being out?
He said no, I came back, and he knew he fouled it twice, but he was in the box.
Home plate umpire Ryan Additon didn't
now watch,
see it.
He's still in, and here it comes, it hits a bat. He's still in the box.
Yeah. Yep.
So that was a good call. That was the right call. If he was out of the box, he would have been out. But there's the bat. Catches it right there. Beautiful shot, fellas. Now you get it. It's a 1-2 count.
Off to the right, out of play. When you're facing Bryan Woo and he's pitching the way he is tonight, it's a very big moment in the game.
Sure is.
The 1-2. He missed low with it. Cool. Nice block by Fry. That was way out in front of the plate. Now a full count. Randy Arozarena, good speed at third base. Brendan Donovan at first. One out. Infield, partway in. Fouled right back. Well, he had a good pass at it. Left-handed hitting Cole Young on deck. Cantillo trying to work out of a jam.
I just think he doesn't have a feel for his changeup, or he would have thrown it. See, he's just trying to slap it the other way.
Donovan was off on the pitch, the runner at first base.
Well, that's what you like. You're taking the chance when you send him like that. If he does hit the ball in the air or a line drive, you get the double play. But you're taking a chance it's going to find a hole.
Not running this time. That goes to the backstop. Here comes the runner from third. He will score, and it's 2-0 Seattle. It was ball four, but it went to the backstop. A gift run.
I'm thinking that's why we haven't seen Joey throw that changeup. That was one he threw right there, and he had no clue. He throws it to the backstop up over the glove of David Fry to the backhand side, and that one got away from him. And that's why I think we're seeing more sliders and curveballs tonight, because that changeup, which he loves as his best pitch, he's not throwing it for strikes.
So 2 on, still only 1 out. In all likelihood, the last batter of the night for Joey Cantillo.
Yeah, I agree. You know, we know his changeup has been his best pitch for a long time. The only thing I can think of early on is just having to feel because of how chilly it can be or cold on your hands right now and the grip on the ball.
Exactly what I was thinking. With this weather, it may be tough to grip. You know, I'm sure he had it working in Arizona, but it's certainly not working tonight. So I think that's why we're seeing more curveballs and sliders. And that's why that pitch count is so high. His favorite pitch he doesn't have tonight.
Matt Festa could be coming on to face Rob Refsnyder, who's on deck. But right now it's Cole Young at the plate. Called out on strikes his first time up, and that's ball one. Play left side. With two left-handed starters in the starting rotation for the Guardians, Cantillo and Parker Messick, the thinking was you break up the two lefties, thus Cantillo pitching tonight, Slade Ciccone will go tomorrow, and then Parker Messick, the 5-starter, will pitch the series opener against the Dodgers.
Well, and it makes sense.
The 2-2. Rip foul.
He needs an out right here.
Foul up the first baseline. Cole Young staying alive here. And now you've got a full count. Cantillo has walked 3, struck out 4. And he needs a strike here. The payoff pitch. They got him. Oh, did he need that? 5th strikeout of the night, and there are 2 down in the inning. And that will be the end of the line for Joey Cantillo tonight. He will depart with 2 on and 2 out as Stephen Vogt makes the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen for the right-hander Matt Festa here in the 4th inning. Festa. Oh, Canzone.
Well, the Guards host the Cubs on Saturday, April 4th and 5th. Great seats available. Get your tickets at SallyGuardians.com.
Matt Festa with 2 on and 2 out. First ball swinging. Dominic Canzone, the pinch hitter, lifts it into foul ground, and Jose Ramirez swallows it whole, and the side is retired. But Seattle tacks one on. They lead 2-0 after 4. T-Mobile members get free MLB.tv. Redeem at T-Mobile.com/MLB. Bryan Woo spinning a 1-hit shutout through 4, has struck out 5. He has not walked a batter, and David Fry leading off. He has the only hit. He blooped one over the head of Josh Naylor in the shallow right field for a hit in the 2nd inning.
You know, when we were talking to Stephen Vogt there in between innings, and he asked him about Bryan Woo and that fastball that we've seen so much tonight. Matt, when I look at him, I don't think of him as a guy that lowers his arm slot, but when you watch right here, he does drop down a little bit, and it makes sense why that fastball is hard to see.
Yeah, it gets on you before you know it.
Right, and there's the lefty for the Cubs that's a little bit shorter. And I think of what he's saying right here is like where he drops that arm down a little bit, and it kind of stays right at head level, where a lot of guys are throwing it almost above their head when they let go
right.
of the ball.
You're looking up towards the ear,
Right.
the right side of his head for the ball to come out of that slot, or the box, as they call it. There it is, and that's the two-seamer that has some comeback to it.
6 strikeouts for Bryan Woo.
Watch the comeback to it, right at the end.
Yeah, you think about guys that stay on top of the ball. It's just an extension out of his shoulder. I mean, it's
Yes.
definitely a lower slot than you're used to seeing, I guess, for hitters.
Yeah, it makes sense now when you slow it down and you look at it. He can find that slot and it gets in there.
I think Matt said it perfect. It's coming out of his shoulder, and you're not used to seeing it come from there.
The Oakland native facing Daniel Schneemann, who flied to right his only time up. But Schneemann, he had a pitch that it's one of those, but man, I'd love to have that back because he was just off it by, what do you say, fraction? You know, like maybe less than an inch, a quarter of an inch.
Really is all it comes when you're looking at the baseball.
Last September, Bryan Woo, in his second to last start of the season, had a night against the Angels in which he pitched 6 innings, of course, struck out 13 Angels, a career high, and had 1 walk. 23 swings and misses in that game.
It's a rare breaking ball there. See what he follows that up with. If he tried to change the eye level, will go down and get a chase. If he goes and comes back up with a 4-seamer to get the chase now.
Left field, pretty well hit. Arozarena on the move, makes the catch for out number 2.
Well, there you get a look at the 4-seamer. 76% of the time, that sinker, it seems like he's throwing more of them, but he's not. The changeup, the slider, the sweeper.
Angel Martinez yanks one into the right field corner. He's off and running. And he'll go into second base with a 2-out double.
You need to see that. Remember, that's all he did in spring training was get extra base hits.
Yeah, and watch it. This one is going to be on the inner part of the plate. He's able to get the head out. There it is, and it's down a little bit.
And that's the pitch that they've been working on for him left-handed to get quicker and get his back going inside on. So
he looked quick on that one.
He was very quick on that one, and that was one of the few pitches that you see just maybe a little bit above the knees that he's thrown tonight.
Guardians trying to crack the scoreboard. Can they come up with a big 2-out hit here? C.J. Capus fly to center, his only time up in the 3rd. And found that off the glove of Cal Raleigh. You know, I mentioned Woo had a career-high 13 strikeouts against the Angels last year. 5 other times he struck out 9 batters, but the only time he got the double figures was that start against the Angels.
That's where everything was working right, and they couldn't see anything.
But, you know, we're watching him tonight, and you're thinking, you would think 10 strikeouts is kind of a norm for him.
But you see the swings and misses. No, he sits out there and he doesn't look like he's working very hard. It looks like even put him in the heat of the summer, he may not even sweat.
I mean, I guess the thing that's been really interesting to watch is, as you said, he hasn't spun it a lot. It's pretty much been
Let's
mix
go.
of
I'm
fastballs,
challenging you.
occasional breaking ball, but not much.
Here's what you're going to get. Let's see if you hit it. And that the double right there by Martinez was the legitimate hit. Gave up the bloop to David Fry. Yeah, he's not going to mess around with that guy at second base. He's just stepped off the runner. They want to try and sneak in behind him. He's not going anywhere.
2 down on an 0-2 count on Kefas. I mean, if he locks you up with a breaking ball, you tip your cap because he's coming at you. You just have to be geared up for the fastball.
Like I said, pick up the side of the plate. .76% four seamers to this point.
And that sounds low. The 1-2. There's a breaking ball. Strikeout number 7. 5 shutout innings for Bryan Woo. Seattle, Washington. Home of the Mariners. They lead 2-0. Bottom of the 5th inning. Matt Festick came on through 1 pitch, got the last out of the 4th. He remains on, facing Cal Raleigh here in the 5th. Julio Rodriguez to follow. Josh Naylor due 3rd. Truly the meat of the order, and a bloop to left. Angel racing in. He slides and makes the catch. What a grab by Angel Martinez. He had to sell out, and a hug on for out number 1.
Boy, I think he knew it as soon as it went off the bat, because you could see Ramirez turning, and he was not going to get there, but he came all the way in and ends up making a nice, fine running catch on the dive right at the end. Beautiful play.
Not too shabby for a converted outfielder.
Yeah. And he played more in center field than anybody last year, so he's in left field. And that's the tough one off a left-hander, is to get a jump, especially with a guy like Raleigh, because he drives the ball that way, or can.
Julio swings through a fastball. 1-1 the count. Rodriguez struck out on the 1st. He walked in the 3rd. Mariners 2 runs came on a 2-out RBI double by Victor Robles in the 2nd, and a wild pitch in the 4th. Daniel Schneemann throws out Rodriguez, 2 down. A word now from Wayside Furniture.
Wayside Furniture in Akron has hundreds of dining sets in stock. Buy today, take home today. Keeping it local since 1937.
And with 2 down, Josh Naylor to the plate. He is 0 for 2, has grounded out, struck out. Hitless in his first 10 at-bats on the young season. Takes high, ball 1. Oh, my. That got into the crowd in a hurry, and it was just over the top of the netting. Just a slight delay here. I think everybody's
right over the
concerned
screen.
for somebody down in the seats. Home plate umpire Ryan Addington giving Josh Naylor a little extra time. The 1-1. Bullseye. A ball and 2 strikes for Josh Naylor. The pitch from Festa, and he blows it by him. He hung on, strikes him out, and the side is retired. Mariners go 1-2-3. The Guardians will have Brian Rocchio, Stephen Kwan, and Chase DeLauder due up.
Well, take your game day experience to the next level with the SeatGeek infield boxes. These semi-private outdoor boxes featuring amazing views and all-inclusive menu, plus access to the exclusive infield lounge. Reserve your SeatGeek infield box at premium.cleguardians.com.
Brian Rocchio leads off for the Guardians here in the 6th inning. Rocchio 0 for 1. This is Brian Woo's 3rd year. He's been a very good pitcher, as we've already detailed throughout the night. But I thought it was interesting in that for all of his exploits as a durable guy that goes 6 innings, 25 consecutive starts to begin the year last year, in which he went at least 6 innings. And yet his career best is 7 1/3. And that only happened one time last year against the Yankees. You would think a guy that goes 6 every time out, once in a while he's going to pop one where he goes 8, maybe a complete game. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
But you get to that point. He's right here. He's at 63 pitches going into the 6th. So, maybe he's got 85 bullets in him, and that's it. But he comes out throwing strikes. He doesn't walk people.
Well, he just walked his first of the night, and it's the leadoff man, Rocchio, that gets aboard, turns over the lineup. And this is best case scenario for the Guardians as Stephen Kwan comes up, because they have had no luck with Woo tonight. But Arch, it also, in olden times, he probably would have had a slew of complete game opportunities. But now the way the game is played, they expect to give me 6, and our bullpen's lined up 7, 8, 9.
And Arch hit on it earlier as well. They've been very careful with him injury-wise as well. So he's not a guy that goes over 95, 100 pitches.
You give me my 6 innings every time, and we'll take it.
And with their bullpen, much like ours, that's worked out really well in the first 3 years.
Yeah, he's going to keep you in a ball game, and that's what a starter's job is now. Give us an opportunity to win. So when you can go out there for 25 straight games and give you 6 innings, that's a pretty darn good job.
Kwan has known him for a while. They're both from the same Oakland area where they grew up. So you'd think Kwan would know a little about him, but he said before the game, he goes, his fastball's different. And we've seen that so far today.
Yeah, he makes hitters look funny.
First mound visit of the night. And it was Cal Raleigh that initiated it. Bullpen's still quiet for Seattle, though. There are some guys milling about, trying to stretch and get loose, waiting for that phone to ring.
Well, for Kwan here, if it's a tough fastball to hit, try a little bunt.
Down low. 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, the one thing Kwan talked about in the spring training was trying to find and have his A swing as much as possible. Something we used to hear Josh Naylor say. And so far early on, Arch, I don't think we've seen his A swing. It must be the Seattle pitching.
Well, if ever you were hoping for the right circumstances, this is it. You've got leadoff man aboard. Kwan has the count in his favor. He can eliminate some doubt now and just, as you say, Rick, cut the plate in half. Takes a fastball for a strike.
Yeah, down, out over the plate, something he wasn't looking for.
Shortstop Rivas shading him up the middle. Big hole on the left side of the infield. Juan shoots it foul that way. And now with 2 strikes, Brendan Donovan will back up, trying to take a little bit of that hole away with the angle.
I would think, though, by your 3rd at-bat, you should have an opportunity of where that ball's coming out of, even though it is a little bit lower.
Juan, high fly ball, left center field. Rodriguez on the move. The center fielder calling for it, and he kind of bumped into a Rosarina who never got out of the way. Catch was made.
Well, that's where, Rodriguez, he's the center fielder. He's going to go catch anything he can. It had plenty of hang time, and the Rosarina was there. He could have had it easily. But you know what? When that guy comes over, get out of his way.
So 1 on, 1 out. Here's Chase DeLauder. 0 for 2, has struck out twice. Ooh. He had a fastball and he got after it, fouled it back. Rocchio draws a throw. Swing and a foul back by DeLauder. And it's 0-2. Boy, left one up that time. Another foul back. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out here, 6th inning. Guardians down 2-0. Ryan Rocchio led off the inning with a walk. Changed the speed and got him. That was a good changeup. 8th strikeout for Bryan Woo. We haven't seen many of them.
Boy, but you can tell when he comes in with the breaking ball, they're so geared for that fastball that you can see how far out front they are of an off-speed pitch. That looked like a little changeup down, and it was a perfect pitch. The below the zone, you couldn't get to it.
Now Jose Ramirez with 2 down. Well, that looked like a pretty good pitch. Called a ball, no challenge by Seattle.
Jose looked like he was shaking his head.
In the dirt, 2-0. So now Woo knows this is a very key situation. He's behind 2-0, but he knows how dangerous Jose is. And he goes off speed, and this time Cal Raleigh will challenge. It was a backdoor slider, but I don't think that was a strike. Oh my, look at this. ABS powered by T-Mobile. It just nicked the outside corner. We had one that missed by the width of a credit card earlier. So now the 2-1. Ball 3. If it's close, Jose, usually aggressive.
Oh, he will be.
He hammers one down the right field line. It's a fair ball headed for the corner. Rocchio off to the races. He's on his way to third base. Rugiador will wave him home. Here's the relay throw to the plate. He is in there safe. Throw to third. Safe. Jose Ramirez delivering when the Guardians are on the board, and then he pushed the envelope and he gets himself into third base, just avoiding the tag of Brendan Donovan.
Well, same situation. He got a ball inside and he delivers down the right field corner, and you got to send him here in this situation. 2 outs.
Check out this look on the Defy wire cam.
Yeah, Rocchio just continues to go. It gets down there in that corner, and he knows he's got to put it, kick it in gear, and get around. He's going to slide in. Makes it easily. They throw behind to try and get Ramirez, and it almost looked like Jose came close to coming off the bag.
The 400th double of Jose Ramirez's career gets the Guardians on the board here in the 6th inning. He goes to third on the throw home and just did avoid that tag.
Let's see. I thought that was going to be a triple. I wasn't watching Jose if he hesitated, but he just, when he saw the ball going home, he wanted to go to third. He gets there to the bag. I thought that foot might have come off, but no, it stayed on.
So Ramirez at third with 2 down, and he is the tying run. Kyle Manzardo, the batter. Action now in the Mariners bullpen. Manzardo, line drive, base hit, right field, tie ball game. Manzo delivers in the clutch. The Guardians with back-to-back 2-out RBI hits off Bryan Woo. Even it up here.
He didn't waste any time. He got that little 2-seamer out over the plate. Was able to get extension. He caught that ball out in front of the plate, but it was elevated. And gets himself a base knock. A big 2-out base hit for Manzardo.
David Fry takes a breaking ball. A rare first pitch breaking ball from Woo, in for strike 1. The Guardians had 2 hits in the first 5 innings tonight. Here in the 6th, the leadoff and only walk.
That's what got him, the leadoff walk.
And then after 2 outs, back-to-back 2-out hits. Now Fry bangs one to third. It's just foul.
Matt, remember when you were talking about you couldn't believe Woo hasn't gone 7 innings? It's amazing. A couple hits happen and he's starting pitchers out off speed. Now everything's changed when he's gotten to this point.
Yeah, you know what's amazing is that he was behind Jose Ramirez, and we knew Jose was going to be aggressive. He doesn't like to walk. And he came up with the big hit. Foul tipped it into the mitt, and that will retire the side. Oh, the Guardians have risen here in the 6th. Jose Ramirez, 2-out RBI double. Manzardo's RBI single followed to tie it up at 2. It's now a 2-2 game as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning. Matt Festa still out here for Cleveland. He's gone an inning and a third, perfect relief. Tim Herron, left-hander, up for Cleveland. Brendan Donovan, left-handed batter on deck. So it may be that Festa is just back out here for Arozarena, who has reached twice tonight. Walked in the 2nd, and then he had a little swinging bunt single in the 4th and came around to score on a wild pitch. Hits are even at 4 apiece now. Swinging a foul tip. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that was some fine 2-out hitting. Top half of the 6th. Both Ramirez, Manzardo. Now this is a typical Seattle-Cleveland game here.
Yeah, low scoring. Arozarena bangs it to third base. Jose Makes a perfect throw to get him. 1 down. So 5 up, 5 down for Matt Festa. An inning and 2/3 of perfect relief for the right-hander, and he will give way to Tim Herron as Stephen Vogt will go to the Guardians bullpen with 1 gone here in the 6th in a 2-2 game. Check out our Bet365 scores from around the league in the American League Central Division. The Tigers taste defeat for the first time this year, shut out by San Diego. Royals downed by the Braves. Brewers beat up on the White Sox. And the Twins get on the board as they beat the Orioles 4-1. Hoosier Herron coming on to work here with 1 out in the 6th. The left-hander facing the left-handed hitting Brendan Donovan. Donovan 1 for 2 with a single. Herron's numbers a year ago, 54 times called upon out of that bullpen. 2-0 slider catches the outside part of the plate. Chucked it by him. Back to even at 2-2.
And Herron gets on a roll and throwing the ball well. He can get both lefties and righties out.
Yanked into right field. Donovan with another fine piece of hitting.
Yeah, picked on a little breaking ball right there. Didn't get away enough. Looked like it might have caught a little too much of the plate, and he was able to pull it into the hole between first and second. You can see that one where Fry had to go up, he was going to have to backhand it. So that meant it was on the more of the inside part of the plate.
4 hits.
Was away.
4 hits and 9 at bats for Donovan. Aaron. His start to his Seattle career is off and running. Victor Robles takes it, in for a strike. Robles doubled in the first run of the game in the 2nd inning and hit a long fly ball to right field to push C.J. Capus onto the warning track.
It got to that man from second to third. Remember, he tried to bunt him over in a sacrifice situation, got to a 3-1 count after Cantillo fell behind him. He ended up getting the job done, and that's how that run scored, was on the wild pitch.
Yeah. Oh, 0-2 curveball in the dirt. Well, at least Seattle has proved one thing tonight. They can score without hitting a home run.
Yeah. Well, sure. They got a couple of singles tonight. 4 of them to be exact.
They did not have a single in the first 2 games, and all 9 of their runs came via the home run ball. But tonight, the RBI double, the wild pitch. Now a 2-2 offering, and Robles rolls it to third. Jose going to have a tough play. Long throw to first.
Off the bag.
Not in time.
Yeah.
And the Mariners have 2 on with 1 out.
Yeah, couldn't get enough on the ball. He was going into foul territory. And when you're like that, you got to make sure if you're at first base. And that was a good pitch. It jammed him. You got to come off the bag at first, and he does just that. Give him an infield single. They'll have an opportunity now with just 1 out.
Leo Rivas walked in the 4th. He's 0 for 1. Out in front of a slider. Came right back with it, got him to chase. Rivas manning shortstop while J.P. Crawford is on the mend. He's on the injured list, but they feel like he won't be out for an extended period of time. Some shoulder soreness.
It's got to be a little scary for him, though. He came to spring training and just couldn't throw the way he usually throws. Almost a dead arm a little bit.
In the dirt.
And at shortstop, Matt, as you guys know, you got to be able to make those throws.
Well, he's normally an everyday gamer, man.
Right.
He plays almost all the time, every year. So, that's not a good situation. But if you're going to have to miss, you lay low early now, and you make sure it's A-OK before you come back. But he's a terrific player, good shortstop.
He's a gamer. And
yes, he is.
At the end of his contract, they've got a young shortstop in the minors that's coming.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
Oh, boy.
Runners go, and they both are safe. The pitch was low, and now a full count.
Well, he double stepped. He just got a running start at second base, and Aaron didn't hold him. It didn't stop him. Watch. Go, and gone. And they followed him, and they told him, keep an eye on it. That guy behind that runner's got to make sure he goes.
Go ahead, run at third with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Infield in. Ground ball to Rocchio. He'll come home. Fry's got him dead to rights.
Beautiful. Well done. That turned out to be very nice. Right to Rocchio. He got rid of it quickly, and Fry had the ball and was waiting for Donovan to come in sliding. And he's a dead duck. See ya. So a chance to get out of it.
So with 2 away, Cole Young, the batter, is 0 for 2, has struck out twice. You get the lefty-lefty matchup. As Herron tries to get out of this mess. There's a good off-speed pitch. Slowed that one down. Nice curveball. Kind of buckled Cole Young a little bit there. I don't think he was expecting that. Slow chopper to second. Schneemann flips it over. And Hoosier Herron gets out of trouble. Mariners strand a pair. We move to the 7th, deadlocked at 2. Now Jose Ramirez, another night, another milestone. His RBI double in the 6th inning, his 400th career 2-bagger. All aboard the Ram track.
Yeah, look at the bat bending right there after he's hitting that ball.
Our guy Russ Lee does a phenomenal job photographing Guardians baseball, and that's his snapshot. Isn't that amazing how much, what do you call that? It's just plain old torque, right?
Torque,
and how much
absolutely.
Power you're generating through the strike zone.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? What it looks like there. And he hit that ball down and in and just kept that ball fair. That's not an easy thing to do.
Our Sarah Auto Park pitching change. Edward Bazardo is the new pitcher for Seattle. Right-hander, Schneemann socks one deep down the right field line, and it's a foul ball. Just curving in front of the pole.
He's had a couple good swings tonight, and that first at-bat he had.
The 0-2. Almost threw that one through the backstop. Two balls and two strikes for Schneemann. Left field. Arozarena on the move, makes the running catch. One down.
Had a nice swing, taking it the other way. That was a backdoor breaking ball. And I mean, watch him. He just putting it in play. Tried to wrap it around the outside part. That's a good swing and had some carry to it. But Arozarena right into the tracks, able to get that first out. But it was a good swing.
Now Angel Martinez, a 2-out double in the fifth. His first hit of the season. Bazardo became a very valuable member of this Mariner bullpen last year. But you wonder, man, how long does it take to get over what happened to him in October? It was Bazardo who was on the mound, and George Springer stepped to the plate and launched that
three-run homer.
Season-altering three-run homer. It sent Toronto on to the World Series and crushed the Mariners' hopes.
I thought of that as soon as Schnee hit that foul ball on the right field line because he came in after Wu in that playoff.
Oh, that's right. Martinez will challenge that. It's a called third strike. ABS powered by T-Mobile. And it is a called third strike. 2 down.
He locked him up, made a good pitch. He was going the soft away with the breaking ball, and then he, with that fastball on the inside part of the plate, was able to catch the corner.
C.J. Capus with a 1-0 count with 2 down, bases empty, and he takes a strike. If you look at the score bug in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, you'll see those little white boxes next to the team logos. That's how many ABS challenges remaining. Seattle still has both. Cleveland, after losing on the Angel Martinez appeal, has one ABS challenge remaining. I think it's going to take a while for teams and individual players to figure out how it works best, when to do it.
Yes, it will. I mean, that's, you remember, we go back with the pitch clock, how things
and I wonder,
changed.
Rick, I wonder what the psychological impact is if you challenge it and you're wrong. Does that kind of?
No, I mean, if you believe that's the, you got to truly believe.
Nope, they're going to challenge. So Mariners will challenge this one. Cal Raleigh.
Well, he's already got one, 2 in the series.
It was called a ball, and it is a ball.
There you go.
So now the Mariners have one ABS challenge remaining.
Matt, I think off of what you're saying, I think certain players it will affect. I think a guy like Stephen Kwan, who thinks through everything after he's wrong once or twice, it may slow him down from making that decision. But everybody's different.
But they'll get used to it, though. I mean, they'll get a better feel for it. Let's put it that way.
That's a good way of putting it. You're right.
I mean, right now it's up, and you don't want to get caught, or you don't want to challenge and have it overturned.
I just like the Stephen Vogt told them in spring training. Be aggressive with it. Let's learn about it.
Right.
Rather than sit back and learn, watch everyone else do it.
Yeah, in spring training, it doesn't matter. You could go ahead and do it, but they'll start getting a better feel for it.
Brian Rocchio walked and scored in the Guardians' 2-run 6th inning. He takes, and now he challenges. And this is it for Cleveland if he's wrong.
Well, in this count, in this situation, I don't agree. It was an 0-1 count. You still have another one left, even if it isn't. So, there you go. You just gave away your second one and last one, and you're in the 7th inning. You see, there's a time I disagree with him challenging that 0-1 pitch. It did not mean anything because you still had another strike.
Yeah, if it's 0-2 and you really feel strong about it, go ahead.
But you'd have to be strong about it, but not an 0-1 count there. That was not a good gamble by Rocchio, because now you're out.
Oh, 2 count, and that's outside. 43,283 the attendance tonight here at T-Mobile Park. We had a sellout crowd of almost 45,000 on opening night, so really good turnout here on a cool Saturday evening. Low 2-2. Now full count. Jerry Dipoto said that when they got Edward Bizarro, the key was they changed the breaking ball a little bit, and they basically said, use your 2-seamer. You've got a good 4-seam fastball. We want something to give you a little bit more movement going away from the left-handed hitter.
Yeah, makes sense. Because he's not afraid to throw the 4-seamer in.
Runner goes, payoff pitch, almost hit him with it. And Rocchio is aboard, back-to-back 2-out walks. Continues the inning. They've got a left-hander up in the bullpen, but I don't know if he's ready. So Gabe Speier is getting loose. That's the pitching coach going out for a chat. Pete Woodworth will try to get Bizarro back on track as he faces Stephen Kwan. But now Kwan has an opportunity to break the tie with 2 outs here in the 7th inning. He's 2 for 12 to start the year.
We'll get that magic wand working.
With regards to that 2-seam fastball, though, once the Mariners got him throwing that 2-seam fastball, listen to this. Last year, the 151 batting average against that 2-seamer and the 202 slugging percentage against among the lowest of all major league pitchers.
Yeah.
So they knew what they were doing, and he was smart to take the coaching and run with it.
Yeah, with Kayfus out there, you want him getting a good secondary lead here. If Kwani happens to go shoot it the other way. Rosarena's arm is not a good quality arm, so they're going to have to send him in a situation like this.
Kwan going that way. Rosarena on the run. He won't get it. Kayfus around third. He's headed home. Rosarena's throw is cut off, and the flip to third is not in time. Rocchio holds the bag, and C.J. Kayfus comes home with the go-ahead run as Stephen Kwan drives him in with that patented inside-out swing to left field.
There it was. Beautiful. It was inside, too. He goes inside out, and he's been throwing those left-handers in on the plate. So Kwani might have been paying attention, and you can see the good jump there that Kefas got. He's going to score easily. They tried to flip behind and get Rocchio. They can't do it. You've got second and third, and Bizzardo's night will be over. So a nice job again with 2 out hitting.
He had 2 outs and nobody on base.
Walk,
Back-to-back walks. So he's out. Spire's in. Guards up 3-2. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Guardians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Guardians. All right. Cleveland leading it now 3-2. Top half of the 7th inning. They have runners at second and third with 2 down. Chase DeLauder coming to the plate. And left-hander Gabe Spire on to pitch for Seattle. Spire was saddled with the loss on opening night. Jose Ramirez clipped him for a 2-out, 2-run double. He gave Cleveland the margin of victory, as it were.
Yeah, double number 399. 400 tonight for Jose.
DeLauder fouls it back. 1-1. Tough night for Chase facing Seattle starter Brian Wu. Struck out all 3 times. But he's up here with 2 on and 2 out, trying to increase the lead. Chop to first. Josh Naylor will take it himself. Now Stephen Kwan delivering for the Guardians here in the 7th inning. Big 2-out RBI hit puts the Guards in front 3-2. Three-2 Guardians as we've reached the 7th inning stretch here in Seattle. 25 years ago, Ichiro burst onto the scene with the Seattle Mariners. Not only did he win Rookie of the Year, which that was pretty much a foregone conclusion, but he also won the MVP by winning the batting crown, and he led the majors in steals. I mean, this guy was incredible from the jump.
No doubt. I mean, look at that combined 4,391 hits from his time in Japan, here in the MLB. Boy, did he break onto the scene.
You get 200 hits in a season, and you've had a special year. He did it 10 years in a row.
He got 255 or 56, something like that one year.
Incredible. His number retired. He's in the Hall of Fame. Ryan Bliss pinch hitting for Rob Refsnyder, with Eric Sabrowski on to pitch for the Guardians here in the 7th inning. Sabrowski was lights out in an inning and a third of relief on opening night. Struck out 3 batters on opening night.
Yeah, he was very sharp.
Fearless.
Yeah, he came out, he made some outstanding pitches. I mean, some low darts that they couldn't pull the trigger on.
Did he go? He did on the appeal.
Sure did.
Sabrowski strikes him out. 1 down.
Take a look at from the side. Yeah. Comes out and gets himself strikeout number 1.
Cal Raleigh 1 for 3 on the night.
Arch, we may need your help with something with Stephen Kwan and Ichiro.
What's that?
Kwan, he grew up with Ichiro as his favorite player of all time, and so I asked him before the opener, I go, have you met him yet? Because we saw him running off the field. He goes, no. He goes, I'm afraid. I go, come on, man. I go, Ichiro would appreciate you.
He's not afraid of
gold
Ichiro.
gloves.
He's afraid of, don't meet your heroes.
Yes.
They say. A lot of people say, don't meet your heroes, you'll be let down.
And I go, no, I think you need to meet this hero. So we're working on getting them to meet because I think it'd be a great conversation between those two.
Well, it better happen tomorrow night because we're not coming back here this year.
Ripped foul on the left side.
Wow, the ump almost did a split down here. Will Little had to get Little quick.
Down low. A lot of people, not just in Seattle, but around baseball, feel like this is the most complete Mariners team in a long time. Some would say it's the deepest, most complete team they've ever fielded. And yet,
I don't agree with that.
I don't know. Wow, just missed outside. A one-out walk to Cal Raleigh. But, I mean, it's hard to make that proclamation before a season begins.
Right.
When that 2001 Seattle Mariners team that Ichiro debuted for set the record in the American League with 116 wins.
Right.
And it tied the all-time record, which was set by the Chicago Cubs. And this is the 120th anniversary. That Cubs team also won 116 games. So, I mean, what Seattle did in 2001.
Yeah, they had some teams coming back in that generation, that era.
They led the league in team batting average. As a team, they hit 288. They led the league in hits, runs scored, stolen bases. Oh, and by the way, they weren't one-dimensional. They led the league in ERA.
Wow.
And fielding had the fewest errors. So when you talk about complete teams, I think that 0-1. Yeah, they didn't get to the World Series. And that's where the story connects to this group. Because this team, sadly as it may sound, will be judged on whether or not they get to the World Series.
Not fair, but you're right.
Well, that's true.
You said they hit 288 as a team.
As a team.
How about that?
There were probably teams that didn't have players that hit 288 last year.
No doubt. Swing and a foul back. I mean, Brett Boone that year.
What do you have, 30?
141 runs batted in, led the league. Kaz Sasaki had 45 saves. He didn't lead the league. Mariano Rivera had 50. But that team, and they didn't have Ken Griffey Jr. He was already in Cincinnati. Fouled back.
But you know what it really says? I know growing up for me, the Mariners always had good teams through the 90s, but they just haven't been able to get rid of the hump and get to a World Series and win one. Because there have been some unbelievable teams. You think A-Rod, Griffey, and Randy Johnson, what they were able to do.
Lifted to center. Stephen Kwan racing in. He's there. Then makes the catch. 2 down. Well, that 95 Seattle team that upset the Yankees in the ALDS and then played the Indians in the ALCS.
Yeah.
That was fun postseason baseball.
Yeah, it was.
2001, after they dispatched Cleveland, they were then upset by the Yankees. Edgar Martinez, Ken Griffey Jr. I mean, they've had some great players in the history of this franchise.
Yeah, and they're celebrating their 50th year in the league.
Edgar Martinez, part of the hitting group, as they call it now, here for Seattle. Josh Naylor dips out of the way. Edgar Martinez's title is Director of Hitting Strategy. Kevin Seitzer, who once wore the Cleveland uniform,
right.
He is the hitting coach. The hitting
He came in from Atlanta. Right.
There's Kevin. You can see him just off to the right of Josh Naylor.
Yes, correct.
One ball, one strike. And that's up high.
Archman, 50 years ago when Seattle came in, did this become one of your favorite or least favorite spots to travel to? I'm curious.
It didn't matter. It was a great place to come. You know, that the dome they had there wasn't the best, but it was a great place to come to and play baseball.
2-2. Naylor, big swing and a miss.
Remember, they had a team here in 1969 that was supposed to play. They started the year out. They had to switch ballparks, and then it ended up moving out of here.
The Seattle Pilots quickly became the Milwaukee Brewers.
That's correct.
Oh, yeah.
They moved to Milwaukee. Bud Selig ended up getting them and taking them into Milwaukee.
Interestingly enough, you played for Milwaukee. The guy we just showed down there, Kevin Seitzer, he was a Milwaukee Brewer.
Yeah, well, and Mike Hegan. Mike Hegan was on the Pilots and ended up going to Milwaukee and spending a lot of time there doing television and everything.
He was an OG Pilot, right?
Gary Bell was on that 69 Pilot team.
And a full count for Josh Naylor. Kevin Seitzer told me one of the things about his guys, his hitters, is that when they got Josh Naylor, a little more plate discipline. You know, not as much swing for the fences. I mean, they're still powered by the home run ball, but he said guys like Josh and now Brendan Donovan. And boy, that was close, but the Guardians have no challenges. So it was called ball 4.
Well, Josh was saying something. That was a pretty darn good pitch. I think maybe Fry wanted to challenge it, don't you?
So the 2-out walk on a borderline pitch that Zabrowski, I think he's steaming. He didn't get that call, but he's going to head out. Stephen Vogt will make a pitching change, and we'll be right back. You know, the manager of that 0-1 Seattle team that set the league record for most wins in a single season was the fiery Lou Piniella. Who was more entertaining than Lou Piniella when it came to arguing with umpires?
Well, Earl Weaver and Billy Martin, but that's where he learned from, I think, some of those guys. Now, you know, he was around a long time. He won a World Series, and we had this conversation when we first started. He should be in the Hall of Fame.
No doubt. Sean Armstrong on to pitch for Cleveland with 2 men on, 2 out here in the 7th inning. Armstrong facing Randy Arozarena. Guardians out of challenges. And here's a situation. We've already had one now. We're in game 3 where had they had one to give, I think Fry would have challenged that ball 4 call to Josh Naylor because it looked like strike 3. Now the 1-1. Oh, almost to the backstop. Nice backhanded stab by David Fry. Two-one pitch and a good breaking ball. Might have backed up on him a little bit, but it had Arozarena locked up. So now a 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 pitch on the way. Hit hard to third. Ramirez will go the long way to first in plenty of time to get him.
He looked at second. He wanted to go to second and ended up throwing it to first to get the out.
Armstrong puts out the fire. We head to the 8th, Guards by 1. Jose Ramirez, always driving the bus, always pushing his teammates.
Everything goes through Jose Ramirez.
He's out of room, it's out of here. Mr. Inevitable delivers again. Throw down to second, not in time. With an all-out diving grab, the catalyst, the consummate leader.
He just continues to be one of the greatest players on the planet.
And Jose Ramirez helping to drive the bus once again here tonight. His RBI double got him on the board in the 6th. Kyle Manzardo followed with an RBI single that scored Jose. That tied the game. And then Stephen Kwan with the Guards ahead with a 2-out RBI hit in the 7th. That's been the key for me tonight, Rick, is the clutch hitting. All 3 runs scored with 2 outs.
And he came down and in with this one, and he was behind Jose, but he came in with the pitch, and he ended up getting to third base following that throw home. And I'll tell you what, this guy, when he's up, he just got that look on his face. All right, it's my turn. I got to do something. And they have taken advantage of it. Kwan with another big hit. He hasn't been swinging it well, but he knew what he had to do with 2 outs, man in scoring position. That was 2 walks in that 7th inning to put that extra run on the board.
The 1-2. Popped in the air. Center field. Here comes Rodriguez. 1 down.
Well, MLB Plus is new for 2026. You can stream MLB Network 24/7 in the U.S. and select out-of-market games every week. Plus, live radio broadcasts of every game, game day 3D, big inning and minor league action as well. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe now.
Kyle Manzardo tied the game up with a 2-out RBI single in the 6th inning. With Jose reaching the 400 double mark in his career, and you think about him signing that long-term contract extension in the offseason that should keep him in a Guardians uniform for the remainder of his career. We know he's going to go down as one of the greatest players in franchise history. Heck, if he retired today, he would probably go down as one of the franchise's all-time greatest players. But look, only Nap Lajoie and Tris Speaker are now ahead of him on the all-time doubles list in club history.
And think about how many of those 400 that he has made. He turned singles into doubles from the way he hustles out of the batter's box.
Yeah. And because as the commercial told us, but courtesy of the Braves pitchers back in the 1990s, chicks dig the long ball.
Yeah.
The home run has become glorified, and it always has, I guess, for a really long time. But don't sleep on doubles.
No,
I mean, that's a big hit in the ball game, and Tris Speaker's 486 doubles. That's the most in Major League history. So not only is it Cleveland's, he's the lead Cleveland. That's the most in baseball. Now, 86 more doubles. What do you think? I think that's...
Oh, yeah.
Right?
There's no doubt. He'll end up getting, 35, 40 this year.
So does he get to Tomey's home run number or that first?
I think, how many is he away from Tomey? Homers? I think he'll get to the doubles first. Yeah, he ended up going. They checked and he swung. Oh. Wow. Okay, he's 52 homers.
Yeah, so is he either get 86 doubles?
Yeah, I think he'll get the doubles. Yeah, doubles are a little easier than homers.
I got a feeling we're going to be sitting together when he's going to do both.
Well, that's fine. I hope we are.
I do too.
Now the 1-0 pitch. I saw you look at me cross-eyed. I didn't word that correctly on Tris Speaker. So the 486 doubles is the most in Cleveland history, but he has the most all-time. But there's another 300 that he hit with Boston.
Oh, okay.
So he's the all-time leader in doubles.
Oh, okay.
But his total is 792.
Okay.
That's, yeah. No. You looked at me like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I was thinking 400.
So 486 is the most in Cleveland. Tris Speaker not only leads Cleveland, but he also is the most in the history of the game.
But
that total is
Bingo.
792.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, partner.
All right, that helps me too.
Yeah. I don't know if Jose will get to 792 unless he plays till he's 50.
He might try.
Well, if anybody could, he could.
That was like our pitcher that wanted to catch Jesse Orosco. And you instantly said he's going to have to throw with his left arm if he's going to do that.
Well, he's got to be done pitching now, isn't he? He's not down in any minor league ball, is he anymore, Brian Shaw?
I think Shaw, he was trying this spring training, but last I checked, he still wasn't on a team yet.
David Fry drills one deep left field. That'll get down and go into the corner. It might have cleared the wall and hit behind it. It did, so it will be a ground rule double. Not that he was going to go any farther than second base anyway. But David Fry keeps the inning alive.
His second hit of the night. Tried to get that fastball by him inside. He was waiting for it. Did a nice job getting the hands through the hitting area. One hop up over that wall. You'll see it hit the paneling and come back in. So another runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Let's see. Schneese had a couple good swings tonight. If he can get him in.
Took a big rip, but that breaking ball went down and in. Casey Legamina trying to keep this a 1-run game. Daniel Schneemann has other ideas. Lays off this time. He had that. He had one to hit.
Yeah, just a little out of that hitting area.
And a bouncing ball. Nice play by Cole Young, the second baseman. Hauls it in, and the Guardians strand a runner in scoring position. We move to the bottom of the 8th. Cleveland by 1.
Well, Guardians group outings are the perfect way to spend time with family and friends, entertain clients, or celebrate special events. You can enjoy special group outing pricing starting at just 15 tickets, plus flexible seating options, catering options, and more great benefits. Book your group, CLEGuardians.com.
Brendan Donovan leading off here, bottom of the 8th inning. Sean Armstrong got the last out of the 7th. Staying on here for the 8th. Donovan's had a good night. 2 more hits, a run scored. Luke Raley will pinch hit for Victor Robles. He's in the on-deck circle. On a play. I would imagine that before this game is over, we will see Dominic Canzone as well, because the Guardians have used both of their left-handed. Oh, he did hit.
He did pinch hit. Yeah, he came in for Refsnyder.
Swing and a miss. And he struck him out. Last night, Luke Braley.
Boom.
Matched that ball.
He had one opening night too, so he's got first 2 games of the year with homers. He's got an opportunity in the pinch hit role now. Nice pitch. That looked good too.
So here's my problem, March. When you talked about Canzone, I looked at the scoreboard, and it's still up there. I wrote down Ryan Bliss on my card because that's what they have up there.
Well, Bliss came up and hit the Canzone off of the left-hander.
That's where, okay, that's where.
Was it Sabrowski or Heron? He was leading off.
Yeah, it was. That's when Sabrowski was in the game.
Okay.
Yeah. And Raley draws a walk.
Well, he wasn't going to mess around with him.
So that's going to bring up Leo Rivas, who is 0 for 2. He walked back in the 4th inning. Big rip. Came up empty. Breaking ball misses low, 1-1.
Good pitch.
Cade Smith is getting loose in the Guardians bullpen. Not ideal, but Stephen Vogt not afraid to go to him for more than an inning.
No, I'm sure he really wants this game here.
Chopper.
Turn it.
Schneeman. To Roggio for one, back to first. They turn the inning-ending double play.
Beautiful.
Really nicely done by Schneeman and Roggio. A twofer. And we head to the 9th. 3-2 Cleveland. Our progressive defensive play of the game. How about Angel Martinez laying out?
Yes, he did. Fine running catch right there. Left field, it was going to get over the head of Ramirez. Makes a fine running catch.
He will lead it off here in the 9th, and the new pitcher for Seattle is Cole Wilcox. He's coming on for the first time. He just got added to the roster yesterday when Carlos Vargas was placed on the injured list. Drilled foul on the right side. Luke Raley stays in the game. He is in right field. Yanked foul.
We've noticed now coaches at first and third base, and for both teams, they play a lot closer to the dugouts because they're supposed to be in that box and they can't be any farther down the line. So you can see when they get those left-handers up, they're moving back. Something that we haven't really talked about yet to this point.
You know, I was talking to Sandy Alomar about that before the game today, and the door over there at third base, that's as far out as they can go in terms
towards
of depth.
the outfield.
They can't go any farther towards the outfield. They're allowed to go towards the stands as much as they want, and Sandy is on the edge of the warning track in the grass. And he told me, he said, man, it's very scary. You know, he got hit by a line drive in Anaheim a couple years ago.
I remember.
And fractured his leg.
Right.
So he knows all too well. And he said what he's trying to do, Arch, is once the pitch is made, once the guy starts into his delivery, he will start to move his feet and maybe back up, especially if it's a left-handed guy that can pull it.
Yeah, that can.
See him?
Yes.
Keep those feet moving.
That time he had to go forward.
I said, man, at our age, if we get caught flat-footed, we can't move in time.
Yeah, first step quickness is not that good.
Capus strikes out, and there are two down. And that will bring up Brian Rocchio. Cade Smith in the bottom of the ninth will have 9, 1, and 2. Cal Raleigh is due up third. Rocchio launches one deep left field. Rosarita on the run. It's a foul ball. That would have been extra bases for sure had it just stayed fair, but no dice.
Yeah, that thing was sliced, and I think he had a pretty good idea it was going to slice foul going off the bat. It's the side of that railing. But I don't know if that cracked his bat or not, but he's got to get a new one. So it must have.
Oh, on to Rocchio, a little topper to the mound. And the Guardians go 1, 2, 3. Last chance for Seattle coming up. Cade Smith will try to slam the door for the second time already in the series. Well, it all comes down to this. Cade Smith for the Guardians, and for the Mariners, Cole Young, Ryan Bliss, and Cal Raleigh. Anybody reaches, Julio Rodriguez. Cade Smith worked a 1-2-3 ninth on Thursday night in the season opener to pick up his first save. Splitter skips in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cole Young, 0 for 3, struck out twice against starter Joey Cantillo. A little low. And it's 2 balls and a strike. Just reared back and ripped it by him.
He just said he elevated a little bit above the belt, but he just said, here we go. And you can see where Fry put the target right down the middle. Let's go. We're not messing around.
Cade hit 98 miles an hour with that fastball. The big right-hander ready. And the 2-2. It's a fair ball. Shot it just inside the line. Cole Young headed to second base. He'll go in standing with a leadoff double.
Boy, oh boy, you got to tip your cap there. That was a fine at bat. Getting that ball and slapping it the other way. And he takes it inside out, and it stays inside the bag. It's down enough. Elevated, he might not have been able to get to that, but he gets this one and slaps it. Look, it stays right inside the bag. Fair ball, so the leadoff double. That'll put a little pressure on the defense.
Ryan Bliss squares. Shows bunt, pulls it back, takes ball 1. Yeah, when you've got Cal Raleigh on deck, Julio Rodriguez to follow, your job as Ryan Bliss is to get that guy to third.
Yeah, this is like extra innings for him right now. You got to try and move him over.
And he tried to bunt. He bunted through it. Strike 1. Evens the count.
And with this guy, it's got to be tough to try and bunt off Cade Smith, getting it up there. Even if it's a high fastball, you got to keep your bat right there, and it's not an easy thing to do, or he could pop it up. So I'm sure they'll stay with the fastballs.
Just outside, 2-1.
That's what they used to tell pitchers to do, man, in those days when they used to do a lot of sacrificing. And they know you're going to bunt. Throw them the high fastball, let them pop it up.
He tried to bunt again, and it goes back to the screen.
It's not an easy, cannot be an easy guy to face to put the ball down. Now we'll see if they, look at, you see right there, He had to bring that bat down.
At 5'7", when he drops to a knee, he might not come up to the belt buckle of Cade Smith. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. He blew it by him for out number 1.
Well, he figured he had one chance to swing, 2 chances to bunt, couldn't get it done. So they get the first out, and that's the elevated fastball.
Now Cal Raleigh. This is what these people came to see here in Seattle. They're on their feet. Big matchup between 2 big men, and that was a great fastball that called a ball. Guardians do not have any recourse with regards to ABS. They're out of challenges. Seattle has 1 remaining. Outside, 2-0. Raleigh struck out his first, or he struck out in 8 consecutive plate appearances before he singled in the 3rd inning tonight.
Oh, he was cheating for the fastball there. Comes back and he didn't give in and throw him the fastball. He was guessing.
The 2-1. Not an enviable position to be in, facing Raleigh when you're deep down on the count to him. It's one thing to pitch, you know, when you're ahead, and that's how they've had success against him. 3-1 fastball in there for a strike.
He hit the spot inside. You see, he must have been looking away for it because he almost jumped out of the way of that pitch.
Raleigh will use his timeout to readjust the batting gloves.
Yeah, try and slow things down. He's got to gather his thoughts, what he's going to look for.
Tighe run at second with 1 out of the 9th in the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He blew it by him at 97. His 2nd strikeout of the night.
I think the first 4 pitches were splits. And then he didn't mess around. Let's check out the sequence here. Pitch by pitch coming to him. Oh, he went with a good low dart fastball. There's the split. There's another split that he had him 2-0. And then 1 more, and he says, okay, I'm done. Hits the top rail both times. Perfect pitches, fastballs.
But he's got 1 more tough out to go. Julio Rodriguez 0 for 3 tonight. Oh, that breaking ball, and he is even the count of 1-1. So used to the split, you forget he's also got a little breaking ball that he flip in there once in a while. So many closers are just 2-pitch pitchers.
Right.
But Cade's got an assortment that he can go at you with.
Rodriguez had a good swing at that fastball.
The Mariners are down to their last strike. Cade Smith trying to lock it down. David Fry sets the target. Line drive, base hit, right field, tie game. Down to their last strike, Julio Rodriguez. His first hit of the year, ties it with 2 out in the 9th inning.
He came back with that fastball, and it was right down the middle, 97. He takes it inside out like he can, and he gets a big 2-out knock to tie this ball game up. Yeah, he's fired up. He fired these fans up, and you can see that pitch, he stayed inside the baseball and gets rewarded.
I always think about, in these situations, one of the hardest jobs in sports for a closer. You got to regroup quickly. You don't get any time to walk it off.
Oh.
Off the glove of Fry. winning run into scoring position.
Well, I was thinking, right before that pitch that he may take off, and try and get himself in the scoring position. And this one, he didn't need it. He had that splitter that got out of, went back to the backstop. So now they're going to, walk Naylor and come up and face the Rosarina.
Carl Willis going to go out to the mound.
Yeah, he'll give him a little breather now.
As this game has changed, I love it. The hitting guys all down here from Chase to Lauder and all the guys that can pinch hit, they all went in the back and they start getting into cages, getting ready for hopefully the 10th inning, boys. But you can tell the temperature's changed down here as the guys realize the job is not finished.
2 outs and 2 strikes. And Julio Rodriguez delivered with an opposite field single to tie the game. He went to second on a wild pitch. Intentional walk to Josh Naylor. Now Randy Arozarena takes high ball 1. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Elevated fastball and Arozarena cannot get to it.
Not many guys can get up there and get to that fastball.
Very, very close pitch. And Arozarena takes it for a ball. Oh, man, that nailed David Fry.
Going to see it right off the shoulder. Right off the old shoulder, man. It just deflected off the bat. And that's why that padding is there. And not that it does all that much.
It was 53 at game time. Probably below 50 at this point. Not that would feel good if it was 90.
Yeah, right. Could be 100. It's still not going to feel good.
The string is out. The runners will go. The payoff pitch. Center field, right at Kwan. And we've got bonus baseball in the Emerald City. 3-3 as we head to the 10th. The Guardians led this game 3-2 in the 7th inning thanks to this 2-out RBI hit by Stephen Kwan. Flipped it into left field, and that planted C.J. Kafis. And it made it 3-2 Cleveland. It stayed that way until Julio Rodriguez, 2-out, 2-strike RBI hit in the bottom of the 9th. Tied it at 3. And so now we go to the 10th inning. Kwan will lead off with the ghost runner, Brian Rocchio, at second base. And the new pitcher for Seattle is their closer, Andres Munoz.
Yeah, they got their work cut out for him, and a beautiful job. See if he can beat it out.
He does! He threw it away, and the run will score. Rocchio comes home. Brendan Donovan. He just yanked it. It was not close to anybody.
Yeah, he wanted to make the throw on the run. What a beautiful job. Instead of making, stopping and getting a good throw, tried to make it on the run and throws it into right field. I mean, a beautiful bunt, though, by Kwan, forcing him to field it. And he did it all on the run, and he spiked it. And boy, oh boy.
It looked like it got deep in his palm.
It could have.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, you trade positions, you got the run home, and nicely done. Sacrificing an error.
Chase DeLauder tried to hold up, but he went around. First error of the ball game. And DeLauder takes down and in 1-1. Cleveland goes ahead now 4-3. And essentially they just traded places. So DeLauder and the Guardians trying to tack one more on.
That's what you want to do. You try to get two. They do get a challenge, and he's challenging that one because this is extra innings.
You get one challenge in extra innings.
We forgot to talk about that.
They lost that challenge. Look at that. Just nicked the inside corner. And that's all that has to do. Just, if the seams are tickling the outside edge, it's a strike.
Tickling.
He tried to hold up. He did. He did not go around, says third base umpire Will Little.
Well, this is a guy that we've seen in the past for Munoz. This guy can get the ball up to the high 90s, if not 100 at times, and he loves to throw a lot of off-speed pitches.
A lot of sliders,
yeah,
for sure.
A lot of his sliders that he loves to throw.
Chase going the other way. Deep left field. Rosarino on the run. He's out of room. It's out of here. DeLauder with an opposite field home run has done something no Cleveland player has ever done before. He's hit a home run in each of his first 3 regular season games, and he's given the Guardians a big 6-3 lead.
How about that? He tried to sneak the heater by him, and he was waiting for it, and there's the strength and the power of this young man going the other way. Wow. How quickly did that happen?
Swing ugly.
Yeah, keep swinging ugly.
Swing and a miss by Jose Ramirez.
My goodness.
Going back to what you and I talked about at the top of the telecast. So many home run hitters in the history of the game, Rick, had that big swing, which means there are holes in there. And you know, pitchers know where they can attack. With Chase, that swing's a lot more compact and shorter. Not that he doesn't have holes, every hitter does, but he can probably get to more pitches with power than the traditional so-called power hitter.
This is the first time he's faced any of these pitchers as well now. And we know the tendency. He likes to get you on a breaking ball, but he tried to sneak the heater by him, and he was waiting for it.
Take another look.
Watch, it's away, and it's elevated, but look at him stay back. You see how quick he is to get that barrel head of the bat just to the front of home plate. And that stayed on it. He didn't try to pull it or hook it. Second player in the history, 4 home runs in his first 3 games. And Trevor Story, 10 years ago, he's saying, you got to be kidding me. It shocked him. He thought he had him beat up in the zone away. What a happy trot around the bases for him. And they put a big crooked number on the board.
Manzardo swinging a miss, 1-1.
Look at him. There you go.
Well, look at him. Look at him when he goes around third. He was going so fast and celebrating, he almost slipped and fell.
That's okay.
You're like, I know we can't, but if we can watch after the next pitch.
So fun to visit with Chase's family the other night at the hotel after the ball game. They flew all day just to get to his season debut out here.
Well, he's made it worth their while.
Watch this right here. He's posing, hits the bag, and then whoa.
Well, I got to tell you one thing. This is great. The offense picks up Cade Smith.
Yes.
It just happened with a 2-out base knock. I'll tell you what. They made it quick.
Yes, Chase is doing something that I've never seen a dugout do, but Rocchio came over to me and goes, "Hey, what's he on pace for?" I go, "Don't worry about it. It's not going to happen."
Hard hit ball, big room service hop for Cole Young. 2 down. Now David Fry, he has 2 hits tonight, singled in the second, doubled in the 8th. Official scoring change. Credit Stephen Kwan with an infield single.
Okay.
But the error does allow Brian Rocchio to score. I think that's the right call. That's a do-or-die play for Donovan.
Yes. I don't disagree with that.
Fry strikes out to end the inning. But Chase DeLauder, taking Major League Baseball by storm, has given the Guardians a 6-3 lead as we go to the bottom of the 10th. (6-3) Guardians on top. Chase DeLauder talking with the veteran Rhys Hoskins. I mean, what a pretty swing. Just short, compact, bang. Blows it up the other way. And this is, even though the Mariners were second in the league in home runs last year, you don't think of T-Mobile Park being a hitter's paradise in terms of power and home runs. Right. Even early in the year, you hear a lot of the locals here say, we don't see a lot of home runs early in the season here. But Chase DeLauder's making it look small.
But they should have had the runner out there already. He should have been out there. They had to wait. What happens here?
There's no delay of game. Back him up 5 yards.
That's a ball. Or a strike on the hitter, I should say.
They did signal it, yes.
Yeah, I knew there was a penalty for it.
Right?
Sure there was. I mean, you got to be out there. You're the base runner. You got to know. You got to be out there before the inning starts.
Brendan Donovan takes a strike, and now it's 1-2 because of the tardiness of a Rosarino. Connor Brogdon out of the Guardians bullpen with a chance to save it now. Brogdon worked a scoreless inning on Thursday night in the series opener. In the air. Stephen Kwan, the center fielder, going back, makes the catch. Rosarino will tag. He'll head to third. Jose Ramirez grabs the throw, and I'll tell you what, that was a lot closer than anybody thought it was going to be.
That would have been beautiful. He threw him out.
Kwan's throw on the fly.
Well, he gets set, and he's accurate. You know that. But he let it fly, and Rosarino came in, and he just barely got in. Could you imagine if he got thrown out there after being late?
As I said, that was a lot closer than anybody thought it was going to be, including himself. Luke Raley came on as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning and drew a walk. And Brogdon chucks it by him. Deep center field.
He's got 3 in a row.
And it's gone. And just like that, it's a 1-run game at 6-5. Tell you what, the Northeast Ohio boys continue to torture the Guardians. What an opening series for Luke Raley.
2 guys homer in their first 3 games. 1 from each ball club. That's incredible. And he gets a little swinging room right here. Up and out over the plate. He knew it. You can see the look on Brogdon's face.
I guess when you're used to cutting down trees, that swing comes pretty natural. So Brogdon now trying to preserve a 1-run lead. That's foul. He's got 2 outs to go. He's got Rivas and Cole Young before the lineup turns over. Connor Brogdon, 31 years old. Signed in the offseason with Cleveland. He's bounced around. Originally a 10th round pick of the Phillies back in 2017. Parts of several years in the big leagues with the Phillies. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And there are 2 down in the 10th. Two years ago, Brogdon was on the opening day Phillies roster, but then was subsequently traded to the Dodgers. But unfortunately, he had plantar fasciitis, and that put him on the injured list and missed most of the season. Last year, pitched for the Angels. That ball popped out of play. I mean, he is a lanky, wiry figure on the mound at 6'6", 205. He turns sideways, he could disappear on you.
Arms and legs, long legs.
Close pitch, called a ball. And it's 2-1. That stays foul. Checked his swing and it just never got out in front of the box or in front of the plate.
Yeah, it went straight down. Fry was right on it. It's too bad.
In case there was any confusion, just to clear up, when you go to extra innings, each team gets 1 challenge. So if you had 2, you don't get an extra one. If you have 1, you don't get an extra one. It's just both teams get 1 challenge. Guardians burn theirs. 2-2 in terms of the ABS system. There's a swing and a miss. Book it. Brogdon nails it down, and the Guardians hold on for a 6-5 win. And they go to 2-1 on the season, with the series finale to come tomorrow night here in Seattle. This was a wild one tonight. They fell behind early 2-0. They rallied back to take the lead. Then Seattle, down to their last strike, tied it in the bottom of the 9th. And then the Guardians, behind Chase DeLauder's big 2-run home run, put 3 on the board in the 10th, and they hold on now to win it by a final of 6-5.
I really love the way they bounced back and they picked up Cade Smith after he, got it down to the last out, and Rodriguez got a big 2-out base hit. They wasted no time with the runner on second base. Kwan, a beautiful bunt base hit right there. They throw it down the line, and they just took advantage of it.
Well, a big win for the Guardians tonight as they emerge victorious 6-5. Stick around because Guardians postgame's coming up next. You're going to hear from Chase DeLauder. We're going to hear from Stephen Kwan. We'll hear from Stephen Vogt. Highlights. If you missed anything, stick around. Guardians postgame is next. Guardians a winner tonight, 6-5.